What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. Today is Thursday, January 8th, 2026, episode 1042 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief, coming to you live from the Buffer Auger Flow studio. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. If you are looking to stay current on the top cybersecurity news stories of the day while being engaged, being updated, and engaging with a community of like-minded, awesome people, all being able to take this intelligence, digest it, and be able to deliver cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders and just level up your career like an absolute boss, then you're in the right place, my friend. We're doing it every single weekday morning, and today is no different. We're off and running. Welcome to the party, pal. What's up? Good morning. How are you? I hope you're well. It's been a good week so far, getting back into the swing of things as we launch into 2026. Guys, if you are here for the first time, let me say welcome to the party, pal. I hope you enjoy yourself. Please let us know. I know some of you, like Cyber Shinigami, is in Carline lurking. Some of us, like Space Tacos, is getting over a little bit of an illness. But some of us might be loud and out here and wanting to know it's their first time. So drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Long-time caller, first-time listener, Dad0041. I'm guessing that you're in the same age bracket as me, Dad0041. Welcome to the party. I love it. Yeet crew, find the true. Marcus Kyler, love it, love it, love it. Good to see you. Kayla Sturgeon, always good times. Guys, drop a hashtag first timer if it's your first time here with us. We love welcoming our friends. And I want to say every single episode of the Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat. It's very easy. You can get credit for the CPE. The only reason I'm saying say what's up in chat is because as a former auditor, right, I'm telling you, it's very, very compelling when a piece of evidence is a screenshot of you saying what's up and having the date, the episode number, everything in there. It is. Trust me, if you want to have a great, clean, super smooth audit, give the auditor the exact piece of evidence that they want. It makes their life easy, and easy is the answer when it comes to going from here to there on completing an audit. Guys, we got 8 stories for you. My value proposition to you, if you didn't know, is yes, we're going to go through the story. Yes, you could do this on your own. No big deal, right? You could read this blog post on your own. What I'm doing for you, my friend, is I'm going beyond the headline. I got 20 plus years of experience. I'm absolutely passionate about cybersecurity and community and education. And what I do is I go deeper. I give you insights based on sitting in the chair. I give you things you're not going to get from a classroom or textbook, because the reality is they can't teach those things, because guess what? Sometimes you got a boss who is a particular pain in the butt. Sometimes the policy says we're a Windows shop, but the CFO is all about MacBooks up in this piece, right? Hey, we're not allowed to install unauthorized software unless you're the son of the president of the company, and then you can run a Plex server on our network. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm putting down up in this piece? And that's the value prop. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you insights. That's my goal. If I don't deliver value to you, I will end the show. I like that. If I'm not delivering value, I'm not doing what I'm trying to do here, and there's no point in it. But don't worry, we got 1,042 episodes cooking, and I feel like I've been delivering on it. Now, before we get into it, let me say what's up. Let me holla. Let me shout out. Let me throw some love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this heat to you every single day. Starting with the new sponsor for 2026, Area. Now, if you go to simplycyber.io/area, simplycyber.io/area, you can check them out. Again, I've been saying it a lot on the stream here the last couple of days. It helps the channel if you click on the link and go check them out. I'm not saying purchase their things. I'm saying check them out. Maybe it works for you. Maybe it doesn't, but that's what's up. All right, guys. listen, you probably have heard this if you've been working in industry for the last year. Your leadership team is demanding AI innovation. Employees are using tools without any approval. Shadow AIs all over the place. Your sales team is getting all in it because they're going to make that money. The marketing team's like, oh my God, look how quick I can do these things. You have no visibility on these things, and it's a hot mess express. And you're trying to put AI governance in, but you just don't see what's cooking. You're one incident or audit failure away from everything going bananas, just not in a good way, okay? Fines, loss of productivity, even potentially like IP theft. So let me tell you what if AI became an advantage instead of your biggest risk? What if teams could innovate faster while staying completely secure? Don't you want to be the hero at work who's like, listen, I've got a solution that allows us to embrace AI in all of its glory, right? Like welcome our AI overlords and do it in a secure way. That's exactly what Area delivers, unified platform that combines AI, security, governance, and orchestration, so you don't have to choose between innovation and protection. Take control today. Turn your AI stress into AI success. Visit Area Enterprise AI platform for secure and scalable solutions. To see the platform in action, go to AIRIA.com today, but really go to simplycyber.io/AIRIA. It's in the pinned chat. I do want to give everybody an update. I don't have a hat on today. I do smell so fresh and so clean. Went down to the dungeon in ATL, got a little clean. And, I got out of the shower and shook it like a Polaroid picture. You know what I'm saying? All right, so anti-siphon... Oh, hold on. I also want to say love to anti-siphon training, guys. If you don't know about anti-siphon training, they have an amazing catalog of training and lots of live training coming down the pike. Now, the one I want to call your attention to is John Strand's Active Defense and Cyber Deception course. If you're watching live on stream, I have it pulled up right now. If you're listening on audio, it's John Strand's Active Defense and Cyber Deception. This is John's favorite course that he teaches additionally, which really comes through in his teaching. I have taken this course. This course is good. I know John Strand. John Strand's a friend. This is a very good course taught by a very good professional. 16 hours, 4 days. It is lined up so you can do work and not have to take time off for training. It is remote access available. It gets a certificate of completion, 16 CPEs, and you can take it for up to $0 if you want. As little as 25 if you'd like to throw a little money at them. Go to Anti-Siphon Training today. I'll put a link in the description. And if you do take it, let us know in chat. We always kind of like to bundle together as a gang. So if you plan on taking this training, let us know in chat. Let's hear from Threat Locker, and then I'm going to melt your face. Remember, guys, while the Threat Locker is running, I want to remind everybody it is Thursday, which means only one thing. Dan Reardon is bringing the heat with the meme of the week. And if you don't know, some of us, Elliot Mattice likes to do it mostly, like to guess what the theme of the meme is. What's that meme? And I got to tell you, I've seen the meme. I don't censor, edit, or provide any. Dan has free reign when it comes to the meme of the week. And I've got to tell you, I get to see it obviously before everybody else. This week is exceptional. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You're going to love it. We'll see that at the mid-roll, but let's hear from Threat Locker. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, Tech Ricky, Gary Sturgiadis, Find the True, Grady, Phil Stafford, and the San Francisco connection. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news Wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I will see you for the meme of the week. Let's cook.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, January 8th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. ESA confirms 500 gigabytes stolen in data heist. The European Space Agency, or ESA, confirmed to the Register the second major breach in 2 weeks, with the criminal group claiming to have stolen around 500 gigabytes of operational and contractor data, including spacecraft procedures, subsystem documentation, and mission details from companies like SpaceX, Airbus, and Thales Alenia. The group says the vulnerability used to gain access back in September still isn't patched and offers live system access. ESA says it's begun a criminal investigation and declined to address specific claims. This follows a separate December leak involving more than 200 gigs of ESA data. Nightmare flight.
All right, so the European Space Agency, I believe it's like Europe's version of NASA. You guys remember NASA? You remember when nations were the only ones that could have space capabilities? Nowadays, like Amazon has a space capability. Tesla has a space capability. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous. But yeah, SpaceX and Blue Origin. All right, so European Space Agency gets hit. Now, normally when I see this headline, I'm like, oh crap, this sounds like a nation state on nation state action, right? China's been talking about, I believe, going to the moon. I know some people are looking to try to get to Mars. There's that planet called Kepler. That's like an Earth-like planet that could be inhabitable. So, obviously, and this is a little bit of not politics, but obviously my perspective. Obviously, we are cooking this planet, so there is a lot of interest in extra space exploration, right? So when I see this, that's what I'm thinking. The second thing I'm thinking, by the way, is the hole is still open. Why are you first? Okay, let me get to the meat of this. I'm sorry. This attack, when you get into the details, is Shiny Hunter Lapsus Group, or whatever they're calling themselves. The Shiny Hunters, Lapsus, Scattered Spider super group, right? This 19 to 22-year-old Voltron cyber threat actor group that's going ham on everything. I got to tell you, these guys, based on everything I've seen in the last, year or two, they don't care that it's the European Space Agency. They don't care about the blueprints to SpaceX. They don't care about subsystems for interspace communication. What they care about is money.
Straight cash, homie.
And if they can take data and hold it and sell it to somebody else, they will, including selling it back to the ESA. So as a GRC professional and someone who is constantly thinking about risk and risk valuations and stuff, this goes from my butt puckering to it's a Thursday, right? Because yes, this data is not good out, but it's not. It's very much a criminal activity. It's very transactional. It's like they stole the data, they want it back. Now the question becomes for the European Space Agency: number one, do they want to try to buy this data back in order to prevent it from getting in the hands of insert adversaries here, whatever you want to call the adversaries? Number two, do they have any confidence that this 19 to 22-year-old threat actor group is going to only sell it to the European Space Agency? Remember, their goal is to make straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
And I don't know about you guys, but if you were listen, do me a favor, Elliot Mattice. Go back to 20-year-old Elliot. Actually, Elliot's probably a bad example. Elliot's probably a straight shooter his whole life. Let's pick Phil Stafford. Okay, we'll keep it in San Francisco. Go back to 20-year-old. I'll even throw it on myself. 20-year-old Jerry. If I'm sitting on a lottery ticket, right, and I can sell Phil the lottery ticket, and Phil's like, I'll give you $100 for that lottery ticket. I'm like, dude, so many beers. I'm going to be winning this weekend at college. And then I'm like, and he's like, but don't sell it to Elliot. I'm like, no problem. Then Elliot comes by and he's like, I'll give you $100 too. To me, I'm like, I don't care about Phil Stafford anyways. I have no obligation to abide by my commitment to him. I'm going to sell this thing to Elliot too. Straight cash, homie. Let's get paid.
Straight cash, homie.
So then you get this decision point for the ESA leadership to be like, do we buy it back? And do we have any confidence? And if you think that there's any integrity in thieves, go look at Joseph Sullivan, former CISO at Uber, and see what happened to that dude as far as like trusting threat actors to be cool. It's not going to happen. Now, that's the reality of this cyber attack. Now, what I want to point out to everybody here that is disgusting to me is that this vulnerability is still open. What are we doing here? Can you imagine? Guys, I would be horrified, okay? Imagine for a second the place that you are paid to protect, the place that you work right now, that you're given money every couple weeks as a compensation for protecting it. Imagine if that organization was in the news as having a breach and the headline of the story above the fold says it hasn't been patched yet. To me, this is like, dude, this is like somebody's like abandoned their home and there's a bunch of gear, right? There's a bunch of PlayStation 2 games and milk crates over there. And they're like, hey, this home's abandoned and there's still a bunch of milk crates full of PlayStation 2 games. I would be horrified because I would just imagine other threat actors who are capable would be ripping through this place. Now, what's the actual vulnerability? Because that's going to decide. It doesn't really say. It says a SQL vulnerability in 2015, which has, I hate when they do this. That has nothing to do with like this particular incident. Okay. Oh, okay. So the criminals are the ones who publicly stated the hole is still open and continuing to give them access. So that sucks, man. That's embarrassing. Ooh, that's embarrassing. All right. So ESA, you got a tough row to hoe. I always like to do this. I don't know if you guys like doing this, but ESA, well, hold on. I probably should do it this way. European Space Agency, CISO. Let's take a look at the guy or the lady who's having the worst day ever. Massimo Mercado. All right. Let's see what this guy here is. All right. Just because, you know what? I mean, these are humans. These are people. This guy right here, this poor guy, he should be the Simply Cyber community member. Like this guy right here, this is the face of a guy who's having a really tough couple weeks. This guy's definitely walking funny because he's got a bunch of executives up his butt. Damn, dude. That sucks. So this is what happens. You know, protect your assets, man.
Lets hackers hijack N8N servers. A critical vulnerability called Nightmare with an 8 lets unauthenticated attackers hijack locally deployed N8N workflow automation servers, with security researchers at Sierra estimating more than 100,000 instances exposed. It stems from a parser flaw that allows arbitrary file reads and, depending on configuration, access to secrets, authentication bypass, or remote code execution. N8N advises updating to version 1.121.0 and restricting public webhooks, but there's no full workaround. The flaw was disclosed to N8N in November with a maximum 10.0 severity.
Damn.
Taiwan.
All right, so N8N, if you didn't know, N8N is like this WYSIWYG drag and drop AI automation tool. It's very, very cool. It allows you to integrate multiple AI instances and then have them run as a workflow. That way you're not, you basically remove the human from the loop. I know everybody's like flipping out about keep the human in the loop. And like N8N, Steve McMichael from the Simply Cyber community has been doing a lot with N8N. I want to do a lot with N8N. I just can't find the time. Yeah, so 100%. This exclusively applies to locally deployed instances of N8N. So if you are using N8N through the SaaS product, you log into a website and get access to N8N, you're fine. This has nothing to do with you, okay? That's how I use it, okay? Now, local instances, you do your thing. 10, okay, yeah. Jesus. Arian Saghetti just like did a buffer overflow in my hand. A 10, a friggin' 10. That's right. By the way, Arian Saghetti, it's been a minute. What's up, buddy? I love myself some Arian Saghetti. All right, so check it out. If you're running a local instance, you can be RCE, unauthenticated RCE. If you hear a vulnerability that like this is, hold on. I'm going to do this really quickly. Mods, can I get the shooting star, the more you know, GIF, please? Listen, if you hear the term vulnerability, unauthenticated RCE, or vulnerability, unauthenticated remote code execution, which is what the RCE acronym stands for, that is the worst. Okay, that's the worst. And if it's an internet facing asset, you're absolutely going to get pwned. Like, no question. Unauthenticated RCE is the worst. That will always be a 9.8. I'm not going to call it a GIF. Thank you, Justin Gold. Listen, RCE unauthenticated, it's always going to be a 9.8 until it's actively exploited, and then it's a 10. So with this particular instance, when they say it is a 10 out of 10, or as Arian Saghetti put it, a friggin' 10, then that means it's actively being exploited in the wild. And this is the more you know. All right, you youngs wouldn't know this, but PBS used to teach us things because our parents were doing other things. Anyways, so my one thing here is, I don't know how this, here's the question you should be asking yourself when you see something like this. How does exploitation occur? Because if they need to see it, right, which you would assume they need to see it, don't have your N8N instance internet facing, first of all. Now, I would imagine that there's going to be something in here around getting the victim to make some type of connection. Vulnerable workflow could grant access to this. Let's see. So it's CVE 2026. I will tell you this right now, guys. If you want, this is a great opportunity to make a piece of content. This CVE is so new that it's not even in the EPSS database, but there is a great opportunity for you to do some content around this. This was reported on November 9th, so 2 months ago. Oof. Hold on one second. It has to do with passing it a malformed file, and then the parser of N8N parses it incorrectly, which allows it to execute somewhere else. Oh, okay, hold on. Hey, I mean, not the best, but I'm willing to allow it. All right, so what I would say here is two things. Number one, well, three things. First and foremost, absolutely patch your N8N instance. There's no reason you shouldn't be doing that. You gotta patch it. Okay, number one, patch your N8N. First and foremost, you should be doing that. You should be patching all your software, frankly. Okay, second of all, validate. Don't just start grabbing things from all over the place, MCP servers and all sorts of webhooks and stuff, and throwing them in your N8N workflows, because that's how this is getting compromised. Victim reaches and adds some type of API call into their workflow, and the threat actor controls the API, and they push down a maliciously controlled, maliciously developed file, which gets parses, and they take it over. So validate your sources in your N8N workflows, and then third, be aware that this is not just, oh, they get access to my N8N server. Oh, where my threat actor can also use my Magic the Gathering pipeline for, downloading graphics or whatever and sending a newsletter out to my 8 newsletter subscribers about hot commander decks. No. What the attacker is getting is access to your API keys, your session tokens, your OAuth tokens. Like, valuable secrets that they can then abuse. So don't miss the forest for the trees on what the impact is when you're doing your risk calculation for this thing, all right? So straight up patch your N8N and be careful where you're pulling things from.
Blames Chinese cyber army for intrusion attempts. Taiwan's National Security Bureau says Chinese cyber intrusions increased 6% in 2025, averaging 2.63 million attempts per day, targeting government and critical infrastructure, with energy and hospital sectors seeing the sharpest rise. Taiwan links the activity to political and military pressure campaigns, noting spikes along PLA patrols and high-profile government events. Chinese operators reportedly leveraged telecom access and supply chain targeting across semiconductor and defense firms to steal technology and intelligence.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't even listening because I was reading Roswell, UK's message. All right. Taiwan blames China's cyber army for rise in millions of daily intrusion attempts. Yeah. All right. Demir, all day, Michael Ray guitar. Come on, Boros. All right. Attacks rose 6%, but they're getting millions of daily intrusion attempts. All right. First of all, let's be real. China, like, this is not a political show. You can go to Elliot Matisse's show if you want, but I invite you as an exercise to Google China, Taiwan, and you can see all of the history around that. Also, fun fact, I had no idea about this. John Strand is actually like formally educated in like China history and like kind of China, Taiwan, that area of the world's I guess politics and history and stuff like that. Did not know that. All right. So for China to be attacking Taiwan, obviously, like it to me, this is not a whatever. This is like a whatever news story. And I'm sorry, like it sucks for Taiwan to be getting, hammered by China. But you could see in the sub headline, attacks rose 6%. 6%. Bro, you're getting 1 million hits a day and it went up 6%. Do you know what that means? They were probably getting close to 1 million hits a day in 2025. So like, as far as moving the needle goes, this isn't going from like, you're walking down the street, or like, this is not like you're a hobbit living in the Shire and then all of a sudden you're at the, the foothills of Mordor trying to figure out what the hell lava is. This is, you were living in a van down by the lava river at Mordor, and now you're living 10 feet closer to the mountain. And if you don't know Lord of the Rings or any of that references, I'm sorry. My point here is that 6% is not a material increase. So Taiwan has been getting nailed by China's cyber army, allegedly, for quite some time. But like, we say allegedly, but like, come on, man. Allegedly, again, I invite you to Google the history of China, Taiwan. Also, just to go beyond the headline for a second, since this is kind of a thin story from my perspective on delivering value to you guys, you might read this and be like, 1 million intrusions a day? How many operators does China have working on this? I mean, I know they have like 1 billion citizens. Do they have 1/100th of those citizens working on keyboards? Like, hey, you get a Raspberry Pi, you get a Raspberry Pi, you get a Raspberry Pi. Everybody attack Taiwan. No, that's not it. This is a very, I don't want to say misleading, but put a honeypot out on the internet and watch it go. Within a few hours, it's going to have thousands of intrusion attempts. All an intrusion attempt is a scan from a internet-facing asset, poking and prodding to see if there is open services or open listening services of anonymous connections can be made, password spraying, brute force attacks, credential stuffing, like all of those things can be automated and scripted. So these millions of attacks could be coming from like 3 dudes who work 9 to 5 local time. So don't get, this is why people are like, oh my God, cybersecurity is so scary. It's so, millions of attacks a day. I can't under this pressure. And it's like, I don't know if I'm just grizzled and got like thick skin or something, but like the reality is this is 3 dudes crushing automated scripts. And in reality, if Taiwan has their crap together, which I hope they do, which you should do too at your organization, if you have hardened your attack surface, if you have put detections in place where you have to have opening listening services to make sure anomalous behavior is detected quickly, then you can have your millions of daily intrusion attempts because it's fine. Final thing I'll give everybody here, the internet, the place where my kid plays Roblox and you go shop for yoga mats on Amazon, it's the same internet as this is happening, millions of intrusion attempts. The internet that we use is an incredibly hostile environment. It is uber hostile. Many of us just operate in the middle of the road like, oh, there's nothing to see here. But on either side of the road, there's absolute chaos being sown all over the place. And I'm not even like trying to sensationalize this. It's the reality. All right, let's go.
Our MTSI delivers diverse payloads. Reversing Labs detailed a Windows packer dubbed PKR MTSI, used as a versatile malware loader in large-scale malvertising and SEO poisoning campaigns over the last 9 months. The tool distributes Trojanized installers, posing as PuTTY, Rufus, Microsoft Teams, and similar utilities, then loads varied payloads including Oyster, Vidar, Vanguard Stealer, and Supper. Newer variants add obfuscation, hashed APIs, and anti-analysis tricks. DLL versions can run via regsvr32.exe for persistence. Reversing Labs released updated Yara coverage, noting recurring parsing flaws that give defenders consistent detection opportunities.
All right. I mean, this is a great piece of malware. This is a great piece of malware. It attacks Windows systems. It's an initial infection malware. It's packed, which is pretty common for malware, right? So it's, then they obfuscate it. You could see they call the ZW allocate virtual memory. That's just a Windows system function. It has anti-malware. It has malware analysis, anti-malware analysis capabilities, which is an indicator of sophistication, right? Junior varsity malware just does the thing it does. It doesn't have anti-malware analysis. The varsity squad, your A team, they're the ones that have anti-analysis. So this thing checks to see if it's being analyzed before it detonates. And if it is, it terminates itself or it goes into an infinite loop doing nothing in order to frustrate the analyst, the reverse engineer who's trying to figure it out. Now, basically, this thing loads. You're like, how could someone fall for this? Listen, it's a very sophisticated piece of malware. What they're doing is they're posing as popular softwares like PuTTY, which is wild because with PuTTY, you really are targeting a power user, an IT user, because PuTTY is a very specific application that's been around for like 1,000 years, where it allows you to make SSH connections. It's very common to download it onto Windows and then use it to connect to a Linux box. Nowadays you can do Windows subsystem Linux and just, F PuTTY. But anyways, the point is they're using search engine optimization poisoning techniques to appear at the top of Google results and potentially have Gemini recommend it to you. So then you say, I need to download PuTTY. And then it's like, here's PuTTY. And then you download it and you're just downloading malware, which means you're going to click through because you trust it because Google told you it was PuTTY. And then you infect yourself and then it's off and running and you're screwed. Okay. You're also not playing PuTTY. Did they say Trojanized? Hold on one second. So they did say Trojanized. All right. So really quickly, what's even more insidious about this one is that Trojanized means that when you download it, it still runs PuTTY. You still are able to connect to your Linux systems using PuTTY. You don't know any better. Trojanized means it is running the malware and it is running the thing you think it is. So it continues to hide in plain sight. Just for this one, he said there's some Yara rules that have been developed. There's some indicators of compromise that have been developed. Go ahead, Make sure that your environment is looking for this. It sounds like it's pretty sophisticated and working well. Additionally, educate your workforce. If you're going to send, like for me, I like to educate my workforce like one specific small message at a time. I don't want to overwhelm them. I want them to retain what I'm telling them. So I give them one piece of information at a time. Make them aware of search engine optimization poisoning, right? Like, don't tell your Aunt Dorothea search engine optimization poisoning because she's just going to glaze over. But basically say, hey, listen, the top results in Google, make sure they're legit. Double check them because threat actors have budget.
Straight cash, homie.
And they spend it on Google Ads, just like any other business does on Google Ads.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Hawks Hunt. Traditional security training fails because it treats employees like the problem. Hawks Hunt treats them like the solution. AI-powered simulations mirror actual attacks hitting your inbox. Instant coaching turns mistakes into learning moments. Gamified rewards make security engaging. The result? Real behavior change that measurably reduces your risk. Thousands of companies trust Hawks Hunt to transform human vulnerability into human defense. Visit hawkshunt.com/CISO series to learn more.
All right. Hold on, here we go. All right, guys. Hey, holla. We are at the mid-roll. I want to say thank you so very much for being here today. 295 of you beautiful people making this part of your morning. Thank you to the stream sponsors, ThreatLocker, Anti-Siphon, Flare, and Area. Talking about Flare, if you go to simplycyber.io/flare, simplycyber.io/flare, I've just pinned it in comments right now. You can see the upcoming training January 29th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, a 2-hour session. I will be attending this one. I'm super pumped. If you want to have like a watch show in Discord or in the chat, we can do that. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to this. Guys, do you want to see what the life of a ransomware threat actor is? We talk about these ransomware operators all the time, but we don't know who they are, how they live, what they do. We get little tidbits when we see them get arrested, or we get tidbits when we see like federal law enforcement making fun of the guy who was running Lockpick, talking about how he doesn't really drive a nice car and punking him and stuff like that. For me, it's interesting. This is deep threat intelligence. In order to understand what is going on with these threat actors, what better way than to understand who they are as people, really analyzing what they're like and what their life is like. I'm excited. I would never be able to get access to this type of information any other way. Come on down and check it out. January 29th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, simplycyber.io/flare. I agree with you, Zero Keystrokes. It does sound awesome, dude. This is going to be good. You guys want to have a watch party? Let's do it. Yeah. All right. It looks like a lot of people are into the watch party. Let's go. All right. So, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Thursdays is What's Your Meme Thursday. So Dan Reardon, this beautiful man right here, produces a custom meme. You can't Google this. AI doesn't make it. Dan makes it. And every week has a theme. And as many of you know, my dog had surgery last week, and we've been on high alert. Me and my wife have been working around the clock to make sure that this dog's recovery is as best as it can be. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this week's meme of the week. There we go. So I'll just let that wash over you for a second in an awesome wave. This is titled, Dan has started giving these memes titles. This is Candy Striper Jerry. Candy Striper Jerry. And you can see we got Ripley right there. And of course, I am the Candy Striper, and then the gift basket with the bones and the bacon and stuff like that. So anyways, thank you very much, Dan Reardon. Hilarious, ridiculous, hilarious. So good. Thank you very much. All right, let's get back to the news, y'all.
Stalkerware creator pleads guilty. PC Tattletale creator Brian Fleming pled guilty in U.S. federal court to selling software built for covert partner surveillance, aka Stalkerware. Prosecutors said since 2017, PC Tattletale let buyers capture victims' texts, emails, calls, location, and browsing via a video-style screen recording on unlocked devices. Fleming's firm shuttered in 2024 after a breach exposed data from more than 138,000 customers and victims. Fleming faces up to 15 years in prison and forfeiture at sentencing. Classic.
Whoa. Okay. So this is interesting. It's always interesting to me who gets held accountable and who just seems to slip through the cracks. So this dude, Brian Fleming, ran a company called PC Tattletale, which had a stalkerware. Stalkerware is a new term for me. Like, it's classically being called spyware. I guess maybe now they're starting to distinguish spyware and stalkerware as separate, where spyware is like nation states for stealing secrets and identifying investigative journalists, and stalkerware is just for being a creep. So he sold one count of selling software designed with the primary purpose of intercepting communications. Let's see. Damn, dude. At least one person in Southern California bought it, which is why he was tried and held guilty there. I don't know, man. He straight up sold it as, if you want to spy on your spouse without their knowledge, my software can help you. You could see, yeah, Stalkerware is consumer grade spyware, of course. Court documents indicate that the stalking was performed via video capture with the software recording the victim's every move whenever their device was unlocked. Ugh. So he was targeted. This is crazy, dude. He was singled out because he was deliberately marketing it as spying on your spouses unlawfully. So, dudes, this is crazy to me. So it sounds like it's not a problem that he was offering spyware that you could use to, spy on your spouses. It's because he was marketing that way. So it wasn't the product. It wasn't he was making money off of it. It was in the marketing of it. Okay. Yeah, you can see there's a number of stalkerware companies in the US. Lots of people use it. And this is one of the rare examples, completely unrelated to the story itself, but like, there is a misconception that if you get hacked, you'll go out of business. Many businesses, like the high percentage of businesses that suffer a cyber attack, do not go out of business. Some do, including this dude's, but not all of them. I'm actually kind of curious how this led to his company going bust, honestly, but a fine of $250,000. I mean, come on, dude. I bet you that guy made a lot more money than that. I mean, 15 years in prison's no joke, though. All right. So here's the thing. Number one, this is about the socio element of stalkerware and this guy being held accountable. Nothing in this story tells us how to detect stalkerware on our devices, how it gets installed, how to protect ourselves from it, how to know if it is been installed. Nothing like that is in here. If you suspect that you have malware on your phone, there are stalkerware advocacy groups that may have some information to help you. But I mean, it sounds like there's tons of these companies out there. Unfortunately, I would think honestly that my thought is that this would be for Android devices, not Apple devices. Not to say you can't infect an Apple device, but I think it would be much harder. Stalkerware. I really don't want this in my Google query, but okay. And don't look at my Don't look at my previous continue with these tabs section because it's all like Magic the Gathering stuff. Stalkerware mobile apps list. Okay. All right, here we go. So yeah. All right. Well, the very first one is called MSpy, and it says it's available on Mac, Android, Windows, and iOS devices. So there you go. Listen, I don't know everything. This is why I do the work and the research, as well as you should be too. I stand corrected. This can be installed on anything and everything. So it sucks, man. Dude, a hammer can be used to commit a crime or to build a house. You know, it's all in the hands of this. This spyware can be used to make sure that you can know where your kids are when they're out running around and playing, or it can be used to spy on your spouse. Gross.
Outlook bug prevents opening encrypted emails. Microsoft confirmed a bug in classic Outlook that blocks recipients from opening encrypt-only emails after updating to current channel version 2511. Impacted users see a message v2 RPM SG attachment instead of decrypted content. Microsoft is developing a fix. Temporary workarounds include resaving encrypted messages before sending or rolling back to a prior build. Ghost tap.
I'm with you, Robert Hendrickson, ATX, about how dumb that marketing was. Can you imagine just like a gun company like Smith & Wesson having a marketing campaign about how you can use their weapon to commit, like rob a bank? Like, oh yeah, the new, ATX shot-off shotgun fits very discreetly in a trench coat. Like, check this. You know what I mean? It's like ridiculous. All right. So classic Outlook bug prevents opening encrypted emails. This sounds like, a functionality issue, resulting in an availability compromise. Listen, if people are sending you encrypted emails, update your Outlook, period, full stop. Okay. You gotta patch it. Most people aren't sending encrypted emails all over the place. All right. So if you are sending encrypted emails and you need to get them, get off classic Outlook. Like, get with the time. I hate to be such a jerk about it. Like, if you want to use classic Outlook, go for it. But my recommendation. So that Microsoft says you can revert to a previous version of Outlook to use it. I mean, that's an option. As a security professional, I'd prefer you not roll back to a previous version so you can check your email. Jesus. I'd prefer you just, I don't know, use the web browser, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. TLDR, if you work at help desk and you get a call that users can't check their email because the encrypted email won't look, this is why. Sounds like they're getting it fixed.
8's remote NFC payment fraud. Group IB researchers have detailed a surge in Android ghost tap malware, allowing remote NFC payment fraud. More than 54 malicious APKs sold in Chinese language Telegram channels let criminals capture card data via reader apps on victims' phones and then relay it to tapper apps tied to illicit point-of-sale terminals. Victims are targeted through smishing and vishing. One vendor's POS activity saw at least $355,000 in fraudulent payments from late 2024 to mid-2025. Group IB says the technique is spreading globally and urges stronger KYC, wallet monitoring, and fraud defenses.
All right. So first of all, Group IB, very cool. I know some people over at Group IB, and I like what they're doing. So you don't hear a lot about them. I think they're European. Roswell, UK, since you're our European office representative, let me know. Guys, these tap to pay, I know, ZMF, smishing, vishing, quishing, please stop. This tap to pay attack, this NFC attack, it's been kind of cropping up over and over again over the last 6 months. Okay. Now remember, NFC, the acronym, again, in 2026, I'm going to try to explain every acronym that I say because I heard so many people last year say, like cybersecurity is so hard to understand. All you guys do is use acronyms. So I'm trying to I'm trying to break down barriers up in here. I'm trying to break down walls. Also, what's up, Kathy Chambers? I see you. All right, so NFC is near field communication. And if you've ever gone to the grocery store and paid with your phone for tap to pay, guess what? You've done NFC communication, right? Same if you've ever done like whatever this thing is that iPhone wants you to do, where you like basically bump uglies with your two phones, like you bang into each other and then like it shares the contact card. That hasn't really taken off yet, but that's NFC as well. Okay. There is an attack, and you would normally think NFC would be safe because you have to be within like a foot of the device for it to happen. Not so much. So there's Android malware that looks like a legitimate financial or payment app, right? So you think that you're doing things with an app to do something financially, but what it does is it relays the NFC data remotely, allowing fraudulent transactions to appear as legitimate in-person payments, right? So when you go to make a payment with your phone, for example, for mine, it reads my face and then I'm able to make the transaction. What is happening is the malware is on your phone, and as it's transmitting out of your phone, it's also transmitting to a remote threat actor. Now, I don't fully understand if the remote threat actor is at the ready to make a transaction or if they just capture that information and they are able to then replay that whenever they want. But that's the problem. The NFC communication pushes the data to make the transaction, and it's secured because you need to unlock your phone in order to make the transaction. Threat actors capture that data post authentication and then replay it, which is the problem. TechGrunt confirms it is called bumping when two phones touch and transfer data. That's basically what I said. I kind of said bumping. I just said it a little differently. So people are getting tricked through smishing and vishing. Guy, oh my God. Educate your end users, please. If they get a text message about installing an app, don't do it. If they get a phone call about installing an app, don't do it. Please educate your end users. It's like, listen, I never try to like shame or throw shade or insult people. But like, if you get a phone call to install an app on your phone and then you do it, what are you doing? Like, I get it. There could be a pretext like, hey, this is Jerry from Help Desk. We need you to install this app. But it's a financial transaction app. Like, what are you talking about? All right, the card data is sent over to a C2 server, and they complete the transactions using an illegal POS terminal. So my understanding is they're sitting right there waiting with like the fake card over POS, and they're making a transaction for whatever they want. Okay. Now you might be like, what are they doing? Standing at like Books A Million or Barnes and Noble, waiting to make a transaction with a legal thing? I don't know exactly what they're doing, but if I had to guess, they are setting up their own little infrastructure, and they're using it to either buy something that they have developed, like putting a book on Amazon for $1,000 and then making the purchase. So then they get $1,000. They do talk about cash outs. So apparently, you could steal that and use it at an ATM. Again, as far as like the timing of all this goes, I'm not quite sure, but I will tell you, in the last year, $350,000 in illegal transactions were linked to this attack, which means there's probably more than 350,000 that people just don't know about. So this is working. So what I would recommend is two things. Number one, if you are looking for a piece of content to share and educate and get educated and demonstrate for personal branding, then this attack is continuing to rise in notoriety. Okay. It's continuing to rise, and it's not entirely clear to me, and I'm a big old dork. It's not entirely clear to me how this is being executed. All right. So this would be a great piece of content. I'd read it. Number two, educate your end users to not install apps Listen, period, full stop. Don't install Android apps unless you know where they're coming from. Kind of stick to the Google Play Store. That doesn't even give you 100% confidence because malware does get in Google Play Store. But if you're getting a text message or a phone call, bro, no. Don't do that. Please.
Of MFA fuels cloud credential heists. Cybersecurity firm Hudson Rock says a threat actor called Zestix used info stealers like Redline, Llama, and Vidar to harvest cloud credentials from infected machines and then log into ShareFile, OwnCloud, and NextCloud instances at roughly 50 companies without needing software exploits. Industry targets include aviation, construction, legal services, robotics, and critical infrastructure, including Iberia and Sekisui House. Hudson Rock warns thousands more organizations have exposed credentials in InfoStealer logs and says basic MFA and password hygiene would have prevented the breaches.
Oh my God.
If you want
breaking news. Breaking news. Hey, we just have this coming in across the wire. I want to interrupt your normal scheduled programming to bring you this breaking news. MFA is a good control. Jesus. What are... listen, I should probably celebrate this because it's bringing more awareness to the market that MFA can stop most cloud credential heist attacks. Credential stuffing, it happens, you get in, no big deal because MFA stops you. You have crappy passwords, they get in, no big deal because MFA stops you. You got default creds, which would be stupid, but hey, default creds, no big deal. MFA stops you. An emerging threat actor named Zestix uses credentials to log in. Bro, info stealers do exactly what they say, right? What they do, listen, this is how Magic the Gathering works, okay? Read the card. The card tells you what the card does. Info stealers, the name of the malware tells you what it does. It steals your info, your password, your tokens, your cookies, your sessions. It steals it all. Num. It steals, what kind of computer do you run, what your Active Directory domain is called, whatever. It steals your things. And then threat actors turn around and use that to then log into systems like you. Now, listen, MFA is not going to stop everything. If you have a validated, fully authenticated session token, a threat actor can use it to log in as you and bypass authentication because you're already authenticated. So don't just put MFA on and then download every piece of info stealing malware and be like, no big deal. I'm bulletproof, baby. I got MFA. You will get punched in the mouth. I promise you. But just put MFA in. I need to get a shirt made or something that says, I don't even know what it would say, but it would be somehow visually screaming MFA. Please. I said this yesterday, man. I am firm on this. I believe that MFA does not need to be implemented everywhere. If you have network devices internal to your network, you're not going to put MFA on them, all right? Network admins are not going to do MFA to log into a switch for maintenance, okay? And I'm fine with that. If you got an app server running in a lab doing some type of thing, fine. You don't need MFA. If you have cloud-based systems that have production data in it, MFA. If you have CI/CD pipelines that developers are logging into that have access to your things, MFA. If you're a LastPass senior developer working remotely from home, logging into the major code base and accessing it, how about MFA? Okay, now, granted that LastPass developer got compromised a different way. They were fully pwned and the threat actor wrote across the wire. Anyways, but VPN, MFA. Cloud systems, MFA. Your email, MFA. Please, just put MFA in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, bro. Computer, play music and cool me down. All right, everybody. Holla, 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 holla. I do want to say what's up, everybody. Thank you for attending the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, episode 1042. This is all about good times. Remember, the sponsors' links are in the description below. Please go check them out. It does help the show. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be doing Jawjacking. Today is Thursday, and I'm not teaching at the Citadel. Just to get everybody expectations set, the Citadel does start back up next Thursday, so we will be getting back onto that routine. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be doing Jawjacking with that wild card, Jerry Guy. Till next time, stay secure. Bye. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Jawjacking. I'm your host, Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, hosted by that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Listen, guys, this next 30 minutes, what I'm doing on this show is answering your questions. I can't mentor one-on-one, but I can offer you 30 minutes a day of my time and try to mentor at scale. Put a question with a Q in chat, and I will do the best to answer it. Remember, most of your questions other people have, which is why I love this format. Let's just jump right in, shall we? First question that I'm seeing, Sean Sailors, what's your process for software eval? We're growing fast and getting a ton of requests for new software. Want to see where we stock up in our evaluation process. All right, so hey, being real, as far as software goes, you cannot go deep on the evaluation like you said in the question. There's so much software requests. Software's all over the place. For me personally, over time and just getting shaved down, shaving the meat off the bone and then shaving the bone off the bone. What I like to look for is, number one, is the company seem legitimate, right? Is this like three guys in a garage and they have like not great, formal practices? Or is it like a legit company? SOC 2 audit, I don't really put a lot of value in SOC 2 audits, but it is something quick and easy that you can use as a yes-no kind of a gate. For me personally, depending if it's a fat app installed on the system or if it's a cloud-based software, which is very, very popular, I like to look at how authentication is done, right? Can we leverage federated authentication? Can I use my Active Directory accounts to log into your system? Yes or no? And by the way, don't charge me extra for that. I want to punch vendors in the throat when they try to charge extra for configuring federated authentication. It's like, bro, like that is so scum. But the benefit of that is when someone leaves the company and you disable their Active Directory, you cut them off from all that cloud software as well. Also, look at how I don't know if I like looking at this, but like, what is the contract? Like, if you're putting data in there, what happens when the contract ends? Like, are they giving you your data back? Are they deleting the data? Are they using the data? Look at TryHackMe and what's going on with TryHackMe right now, as far as using all that data to train an AI pen testing tool for a separate business, right? Maybe you wouldn't have selected TryHackMe if you knew that they were going to be using your data to make money off of it in a separate way, unbeknownst to you, right? Not picking on TryHackMe one way or the other. It's just a very recent example that many people are talking about in the industry. So how are you using my data? Do we have any protections of the data? What happens with incident response? Are you going to let me know that you had a breach and your data's messed up? Also, with software, like, does it require your company to remote into my company for maintenance, right? Some softwares are much more complicated, like an ERP solution. Oh, that's another thing. How many users are there going to be, Sean Sailors, right? So if this is a piece of software that like 4 dudes in the alumni association at a college are going to be using for tracking donors, right? Okay, that's some sensitive information, but like, I'm not spending a lot of time looking at an app that 4 people are going to be using. If it is an EHR application for a multi-billion-dollar healthcare organization, you bet I'm putting a team on it and we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb. So it really depends on size of the package, user base, features, and impact. And then, honestly, you got to be ready, because if you don't agree with it, you got to be either willing to die on that hill or accept the risk. Plus, you got to know whether or not, like, your CEO of your company plays golf with the CEO of the software company, because that just means it's happening no matter what. All right. And that's another thing you wouldn't hear in a classroom, right? All right, continuing to look at chat. Okay, Bustin' Justin likes the name The Citadel. Kathy Chambers is present. Space Tacos. Hey, Space Tacos, I hope you're feeling better. Space Tacos says, do you have an MFA shirt available? And if not, when do you add one to the merch collection? Yeah, we'll have to work on it. I'll put an MFA shirt in the merch collection. I just need a cool idea, right? We got the Run DMC, Run GRC shirt. Maybe we could do like a Enable MFA version or something. I don't know. It's definitely got to have a 90s hip hop vibe. Maybe it'll be the picture of Biggie with the crown, and it'll just say, like, enabled MFA, like he's the king because he enabled MFA. I don't know. We'll see. Drink. Neckbeard says, what's your take on password managers like KeePass X? Which one do you like best? Oh my God. What is going on? Show this on stream. I use Bitwarden. I like Bitwarden. I used to use LastPass. It's fine. I switched off LastPass before their breach. I like Bitwarden. Okay. The only decision you need to make is whether or not you're comfortable having your passwords in the cloud or not. They have like local hardware ones that you can run around with. Based on my research, and even the LastPass attack, like if you have a great master password, you're fine, because the password vault companies don't have access to your password either. It's all encrypted. That's why if you lose your master password, you're screwed, because they can't help you. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you, producer. I want to remind everybody, did you know, this kind of came out of left field. You may not know this, but guess what? I don't know what you're doing today, but today, Kathy Chambers, this amazing professional right here, Simply Cyber community member, Kathy Chambers, at 4:30 p.m. today, she's coming on Simply Cyber Firesides. Listen, guys, many of us in 2025 were thinking about it, and some of you in 2026 are like, let's do this. You want to start your own business. You want to start your personal brand. You want to start a cyber podcast to drive all of it. How do you do it? Listen, I've been running podcasts for years. I know Marcus Kyler will tell you what I do is easy. Believe me, it is got some nuances and tricks to it. And Kathy Chambers is going to come on today at 4:30, and she's going to demystify everything. So if you want to start a podcast, whether it's for your business, this is a great way to do something fun at your business and be innovative, or you want to do it for your own personal brand, come on down. We're going to take you through crawl, walk, sprint on starting a cyber podcast. All questions will be answered. Come on down, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time today. I will just introduce Kathy Chambers and then give her the floor as we do these things. So SC Firesides. Boom. All right. Thank you, Kathy. As always, appreciate you. All right. Continuing to look at chat. Let's go, chat. Yeah, IT career questions, run MFA. We could certainly do that. Thank you, Zach. Zach Hill and I are cooking on some video ideas. We talked about it yesterday, I think, or the day before. I can't even remember. My days mushed together, but very excited for some of the work that Zach and I are going to be working on. Also, Zach has believe it or not, Zach Hill himself, the IT career questions guy, the guy who you would not expect to do this, has a GRC video coming out on his YouTube channel. Oh boy, it's going to be good. Spoiler alert, I'm in it, so I'm slightly, biased. Lazaro, I love Lazaro. Lazaro is one of our Simply Cyber community members who absolutely went from, I don't want to say zero to hero because that's not fair to Lazaro, but like went from not in industry to in industry, and we've been following his career. Love it. I hope everything's good. So Lazaro says, Happy New Year, Dr. Auger. If no clear direction from management for career path, my next goal is analyst to engineer, but not sure what I need to do to get there. Can't write more than this. LOL. Thank you. Yeah, dude. So Lazaro, this is great. I'll give you two pieces of guidance here. Two pieces of guidance. Number one, if at your current work, there is somebody or some capability doing the job that you're talking about, right? Like, so let's say you're SOC analyst, but you want to become detection engineer, right? Analyst and engineer are very generic terms. So I'm not exactly sure where you are and what your goal state is, but what you should start doing is having conversations with those people, trying to shadow those people. Let the manager or the boss of those people know that you're interested in learning more about those roles. Also, at the same time, and this is going to make you stand out like an absolute superstar, look at the tools they're using. Look at the techniques they're using. Look at what their workflows are, and then begin learning those workflows, right? So, for example, if it's detection engineering, download a lab, get Atomic Red Team or Lima Charlie and the Eric Capuano lab, and start writing some detections, you know, because you don't necessarily need to show your detection to the manager or the boss or those people. But what you can say is when they're like, we wrote this detection for this new malware strain, right, or whatever. You could be like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. Like I hadn't thought of that. Like when I write my detections, you know, it's really cool. I actually use AI to additionally comment my detections. You're not flexing. You're not saying you can do their job or solve it. What you are doing is low key saying that you write detections, which catches people's ears. Wait a minute. What? You write detections? Oh yeah. No, I have a home lab and I'm learning detection engineering because I want to become a detection engineer. That's why I'm doing the work at home. And they're like, oh, damn, right? You got the Chris Tucker, Ice Cube, Friday, damn, right? So that's what I mean. Here's the thing. It's, you know, the old phrase, Lazaro, you're young, so maybe you don't know this, but the old phrase used to be like, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Let's fast forward that for 2026. Do the job you want and the job you have, right? So if you're doing the job you want and when you talk about it like that, it shows off, right? Okay. Hopefully that helps Lazaro. And again, for everybody in chat, if you have any guidance for Lazaro or any of the questions I'm answering, definitely put your responses in chat. We're here to help each other, right? I'm just one dude up here. All right. Bustin' Justin, MFA, MFN, everything. Exactly. You know what I'm almost thinking? I don't know if it's correct or not, but you know that Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction where he's got the gun and he's like, say whatever again. Like, I feel like that should have something to do with MFA. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, good. Space Tacos is feeling better. That's great. The Wu-Tang W. I like it. Cyber Shinigami. I think that could be it. I think that could be it. All right, continuing to look at chat for questions. IT career question says Cisco Networking Academy is great. Agreed. All right. All right. Let's go. Question here, 0 keystrokes for GRC Pro. What's a good way to keep it on top of any new legislation covering cyber, especially state level? Are there professional publications? I don't know where you are physically or like, you know, so my perspective would only be US based. But I'll give you a couple recommendations. Number one, available to everybody, NIST and CISA. You can subscribe to like notifications, alerts, newsletters, whatever you want to call it. and get all sorts of updates and information around legislation. So that's a great, great resource. Go ahead. It's very easy to find NIST and CISA. Sign up for like cybersecurity notifications, alerts, KEVs, publications, legislation. I feel like CISA is the one that's got the most of that. Number two, depending on what industry you work in, and this is constrained to those industries for TLP reasonings, which is TLP is traffic light protocol, which basically just means how public this information is. So TLP clear means it can be on the public web. TLP amber means it can be shared within the community. TLP red means don't share it with anyone except whoever's getting it right now because of the sensitivity of it. Anyways, you can go to ISACs. Hold on. You can go to ISACs, not to be confused with ISACs, which would be Zach Hill's college nickname, the old Isaac. National Council of ISACs. And there's one for many, many sectors, okay? So you can see there's an automotive one, American chemistry one, aviation. When I worked at MUSC, I was in the healthcare one. Or is it? I was in the health ISAC. And because it was a higher ed, there is a REN ISAC, which is Research and Education Networks. All these ISACs do provide information, guidance, updates, etc., relevant to your specific industry. So definitely don't sleep on that. And that goes for everybody. If you work in any of these industries that have the ISAC, you're doing yourself a disservice by not utilizing these resources. All right, it's only 9:17. Look at us just getting it done. Brews and hacks. And if you're a junior staff member in chat, drop your comments for Brews and Hacks questionnaire. How would you feel about someone with 3 to 5 years of general cyber experience jumping into the senior SOC seat without ever working in an actual SOC? Personally, I don't like it. Okay. Now, could the person do it? Like, let's say that the senior SOC person quits. I don't know why you wouldn't promote somebody who's already working in the SOC up and then put that 3 to 5 year person in like an accelerated learning situation of the junior SOC. Here's my thing. When I think of SOCs, okay, like a security operations center, the senior people are there to handle the hard cases that get escalated by the junior staff, and they're responsible for training, educating, and leveling up, mentoring the junior staff. And they're responsible for threat hunting. Again, 3 to 5 years of general cyber experience, fine. But I just think I don't know. I just don't think you're 3 to 5. Like, listen, I've got lots of experience, right? I suppose if you put me in a senior SOC role, I could figure it out. But I just don't, I don't know, man. I think of the SOC, specifically the SOC, is like a trade. Like a tradesman, right? If you have like 3 to 5 years of general contractor experience, do you just like become a plumber on the next job? No, not really. I mean, you've seen lots of plumbing stuff and you've talked to plumbers and you've been there when the plumber's talking about the plumbing. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a little bit of a spicy hot take, Brews and Hacks. I would say this. If you were 3 to 5 years of general experience and you wanted to be a senior SOC analyst, you might be able to accelerate your timeline from going from SOC and, welcome to the SOC to I'm the senior SOC person. Look at me. I'm the captain now. But I don't think you just get that role immediately. And anybody, that's a take I will not fight anybody on, but I would be interested what people can think about. Dr. Fazanso Man says, how can we leverage AI for GRC? I mean, let me do this really quickly. May I present to you okay. Let me bring this to your attention just as an example. This is a tool that Steve McMichael and I worked on. Fun fact, this is on NIST, the actual NIST website. It's an endorsed tool for people to use for cybersecurity risk work. Ooh, like that's actually like a very big point of pride for me that we have a tool that NIST itself recommends. Okay. But anyways, this is an example of a tool that uses AI for GRC workflows around being able to do risk assessments, threat modeling, educating your end user workforce, all those things. See, you can have, it's got a rating system to call things to your attention. Look at this infographic. Oh, let this wash over you in an awesome wave. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Num, 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 num. Right? Get some of that Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce and dip this workflow in it. I'll drop a link to this GitHub repo. Doctor. Here's an example. All right, cool. All right. All right, so continuing to look here, a lot of people responding to Brews and Hacks question. I did think that was a great question, Brews and Hacks, by the way. Come on, dude, this restream, man. I have a 3-month contract with the company at IT Help Desk. How can I highlight myself to maybe extend or get full-time because I really want to join their IAM team? Great question, Felipe. Zach Hill, can you comment on this and tag at Felipe? I'd like your thoughts on this as well. So Felipe, what I would say is while you're there, do a couple things, right? And hey, maybe this is who you are, maybe it's not, but for the next 3 months, it is who you are. Number 1, show up 15 minutes early to work. Number 2, don't leave at 5 o'clock. Boom. Like, obviously, don't work extra for no reason, but like finish up what you're working on and put a nice like wrapper on it. So like when you're leaving the workday, you're leaving it in a good situation. It's going to show totality of professionalism. Secondly, make sure that you're documenting well, right? Make sure that you're documenting well on whatever calls you're taking or whatever. If you can, obviously, be hospitable to the people that you're talking to. If you can, third, and this is where you start to differentiate yourself, right? If you can develop any types of tools or wikis or documentation, anything that can help you do your job better, but then make it in a way that you can share it with other people on the help desk, you're going to be showing that you're thinking proactively, you're being innovative, you are trying to solve the problem of making that capability better at that organization. Now, you said you want to join the IAM team. I don't know what kind of flexibility you have, but if you can begin to speak to or engage with the members of the IAM team, that would be good so they get to know who you are. But more importantly, as a pretext, use the fact that you're on help desk as the entry point to the conversation. Allow me to demonstrate. Hey, IAM team, I'm Felipe. I work on the help desk. Hey, I just wanted to know, we get calls all the time about resetting MFA. We get calls all the time about not being able to access XYZ. Like, can I talk to your team, or can your team talk to the help desk about what you would like to see for those workflows? Like, do you want us to reset MFA? Is there any type of conditional access? Like, I would love to collaborate, especially showing some extra insights here, Felipe. You can be like, especially with cloud systems nowadays and how identity is the new perimeter. I want to make sure that what we're doing on the help desk aligns with the IAM mission. Is that something we can work on? You're going to be engaging with them, delivering value to them, showing professionalism, being innovative. You know what you're not going to be doing? Just sitting, waiting for the phone to ring and being like, like you're going to be kicking major butt. Those are my recommendations. But I asked Zach Hill to comment. He is, this is like right in his wheelhouse. So, what are we doing on time? 9:25. I got a little bit more time. Oh boy, Tom Lavin coming at me here with a Patriots question. For those who don't know, Tom and I got to spend time together at Simply CyberCon. Great guy, big Buffalo fan. We won't hold that against him. Tom says, do you think the Patriots and Buffalo Bills will meet in the championship? Who do you think will win? The Patriots. And I hope they meet. I hope they meet in the AFC Championship. I don't want an easy road. I want to steamroll over Buffalo. I want to remind Buffalo where they sit in the division. I want to remind Buffalo that the AFC goes through New England. You had your 5 years. Great work. Josh Allen's a great professional quarterback. It's time. It's time for you to, you basically were holding our beer while we ran to the bathroom, Tom. But we're back, and we're ready to go. All right. Good, fun question, though, Tom. If it does Patriots Buffalo, I mean, I think it would just be a great game. Also, I can't stand Mac Jones. All right. No one asked, but all right. Continuing to look through chat here. Kish and InfoSec. Who's your favorite influencer? Oh, I know it's not me because I'm not an influencer, but Zach Hill definitely meets the criteria for influencer. All right. Looking to get CMMC certified, but a little unclear on how. Dude, listen, getting certified for, when you say CMMC certified, I'm assuming you're talking about as like a professional auditor, not having your business CMMC certified. So T-Strong 60, let me know what you mean, because if you're talking about getting your business CMMC certified, that's different, and you're going to have to pay it. Dude, this whole CMMC thing is going to cost a lot of money. In order to get certified, I think this whole thing's like a racket. Like, it's gross, dude. In order to get certified, you have to take training from only approved sources, and then you have to let people go on audits. You have to find a company that's already certified that will allow you to shadow them on an audit. And guess what? It's a good old boy system. So do you really think for a hot minute that Lockheed Martin is going to let Joe's Consulting shadow them on a audit? Hell no. Because that would mean Lockheed Martin is introducing competition to the next contract on CMMC audit. So from a capitalism perspective, there's no financial incentive or motivation for them to do that. Don't even get me started on that. I would say you don't need to be CMMC certified in order to do readiness assessments and get a business ready to go for CMMC. So I would go that route. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right. Akil says, I'm helping a small business make a privacy policy. Should I also have them consult a lawyer as well? I mean, if they've got the money for a lawyer, sure. But I mean, I don't think you necessarily need a lawyer unless you're in the only reason I would consult a lawyer is to make sure whatever country they're to make sure that the privacy policy aligns with law, i.e. if GDPR is a thing, then making sure that you're aligning with that. I mean, I would just, if you don't have the money for a lawyer, I would just include a clause that this privacy policy is designed to adhere to and align with all relevant, applicable state, local, and federal laws as needed. Kind of just a thing. Not a thing. Have a kind of a catch-all statement. Kathy says, do your best, kick butt. Oh, no, this is, hold on. This is Kathy Chambers Media. If you don't know who Kathy Chambers Media is, oh my God, I hate this. If you don't know who Kathy Chambers Media is, come on down today at 4:30 p.m. and meet Kathy live on stream at 4:30 on Simply Cyber YouTube channel. We're doing Simply Cyber Firesides, and Kathy's going to teach you how to start a cyber podcast. So if you have uttered the words, I want to start a cyber podcast, but then you're like, oh, I don't know how to, Kathy's going to answer all your questions and show you a step-by-step process you can follow. Boom. All right, we're at 9:30. I'm now going to speed run any questions that are remaining in chat. Kathy Chambers says influencer doesn't need to be a bad thing. You can positively influence things. I know. All right. So Tony Jack says, as a guy in charge of CMMC, it's expensive and convoluted. Yep. Like, you know what I say to that, Tony?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, the CMMC thing, it's a mess. All right. Come on. Speed running. We are caught up on chat, on questions. Hell yeah. Thank you so very much. Hold on. What is this? Oh my God. Here we go. This is a potential. This just coming in from Sean, Cyber Shinigami. For the shirt. We're talking about a shirt. What do you guys think? You want to see this on an all black shirt? I like it. Thank you very much, Sean. All right, guys. Hey, it's been fun. I hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time is when the Simply Cyber Live is happening. Simply Cyber Firesides, as we're calling it. Also have a personal branding webinar. So you guys may or may not know this. In 2026, we're doing a monthly show called Simply Cyber Skills Stream. And it's like a 1-hour webinar where we're going to teach you something. It's free. We also have a long form workshop once a month. The workshops are paid, being completely transparent. It's multiple hours. It's industry professionals. It is a full workshop where you're doing training and learning. Those are paid. The skills streams are not. Those are free, easy to go. Go to go to luma.com/simplycyber if you want to see all the upcoming stuff. I'm dropping this in chat right now, but I'll show it to you on stream as well. Right. This is the luma.com/simplycyber. Very easy to subscribe. You could see all the upcoming things. And the whole benefit of this website is that it will pull a calendar invite on your calendar. This has been something we've been struggling with for years. People want to attend, but they forget about it. No more. We've got you sorted out with a calendar invite. Come on down, have some fun, get used to it. You can see, so you want to start a podcast right here. If you wanted to come today at 4:30, just go to luma.com/simplycyber and put it on your calendar. It's that easy. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Special shout out to Zach Hill, Kathy Chambers, Dan Reardon for the meme of the week, Justin Gold, DJ Bisek, Kimberly Can Fix It, the entire mod team. Thank you so very much. Until next time, stay secure.